Finally, this evening, our Person of the Week. The person we've chosen this week has tried to unlock the power of words in her students. But her efforts have alarmed her employers. We've chosen her because her struggle brings out challenging arguments on both sides of a very difficult question.
Different students communicate differently. Everyone doesn't communicate the same way.
Cecilia Lax has been an educator for 25 of her 50 years. She was once regarded as one of the 15 best teachers in the country. A St. Louis school board is not interested in that, and they are no longer interested in Ms. Lax. They fired her for something her students had to say.
I don't teach profanity. I don't have any interest in profanity. I don't have any interest in cliches or slang.
But her students certainly do. This is Berkeley Senior High in a suburb of St. Louis. A lot of inner-city kids go to this school. They come from rough and tough neighborhoods, and they know all about rough and tough language. They've heard it in the streets, and they hear it in their music. Cecilia Lax allowed them to use that language in her creative writing class.
They're creating characters, so they choose language appropriate to those characters.
Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up now, nigga? Boom! Boom!
Ms. Lax videotaped the students as they read their dialogue, and what they said we cannot put on the air. Suffice to say, the characters her students created used very rough language. And Ms. Lax said there was nothing wrong with that.
When they're writing about people their age, they're writing language that is used on the street. It's street language. It's not profanity. It's not meant to offend anybody.
Damn, cuz, it's like that? I'm out. Come on, dog.
Well, it did. One of Cecilia Lax's students took the tape to the principal, and the school board fired her. Frank Sussman is the school board lawyer.
There's constant clamor from parents for school boards to instill values. And this is what they were doing. I haven't heard any parents come and complain to this board. We want our kids, we want our students to be able to curse and to use profanity in the classroom.
Ms. Lax doesn't want people using bad language in her class as a matter of course, and admits she would suspend students who use language like this in other circumstances. But she says it's important to give them some leeway as a way to teach so that they will get ahead.
That method says, especially in creative writing, that a student should start where he or she is, and you work with that student from that point and hopefully get that student to another point of expression.
The whole play was about what you deal with in everyday life, and that's something I and the rest of my group dealt with in everyday life, was mostly profanity.
But Cecilia Lax students have moved on because they learned to express themselves creatively in her class. One young man who first wrote only about a neighborhood pimp now writes about love with language that can be used in polite company. Her students are certainly on Ms. Lax's side.
A teacher is being punished here for allowing profanity when we as a community allow it all around us every day.
She cared, she talked, she got involved.
And this week, other people got involved in the cause of Cecilia Lax, who is going to court to get her job back.
The battle to safeguard freedom of speech has its casualties in this country, too.
The international writers group PEN, which fights so hard for freedom of expression, is supporting the teacher who refused to censor her students. And last night, she was given the PEN organization's First Amendment Award. She is grateful, she says, but she would still prefer to be back in her class.
If teachers start deciding that they should be the ones to tell students what to write, we're not having education, we're having indoctrination, and I don't think anybody would want that.
And so we choose Cecilia Lax, who raises a troubling question larger than her own case. I have heard teachers tell me, she says, that now they're afraid to teach. That is something we hope passes. That's also our report on World News Tonight. I'm Peter Jennings. Have a good weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Good night.